Hello and welcome to The Print. My name is Zoya and I bring to you our latest in the Great Speeches series, where we revisit speeches and debates that have shaped modern India. On 16 June 1949, the Constituent Assembly debated the draft Article 289, which pertained to the electoral process in India. During the debate, KM Munshi defended an amendment to the draft article, arguing that the election machinery couldn't be completely independent of the government and needed central oversight. Kanhaiyalal Maniklal Munshi was an Indian independence activist, politician, writer, and lawyer. A founding member of Vishwa Hindu Parishad and a former member of the Indian National Congress and the Swatantra Party, Munshi held several important posts in his lifetime. He was a member of the Constituent Assembly of India, Minister of Agriculture and Food, and the Governor of Uttar Pradesh. KM Munshi, in June 1949, argued for a balanced approach to election administration, supporting centralized control while maintaining practical efficiency. He said, and I quote, "We have to judge every subject or matter from the point of view of what the existing conditions are and how best we can adjust the controls, either central or provincial, to secure maximum national efficiency." End quote. In his speech, Munshi also stressed on ensuring that the body overseeing elections doesn't become a super government in itself. He said, "It is not possible nor advisable to have a kingdom within a kingdom, so that the election matters could be left to an entirely independent organ of the government. A machinery so independent cannot be allowed to sit as a kind of super government to decide which government shall come into power. There will be a great political danger if the election tribunal becomes such a political power in the country." End quote. Munshi emphasized that while elections needed independence and impartiality, the election machinery couldn't be completely separated from the government. He said, "The Election Commission must remain to a large extent an ally of the government. Not only that, but it must, to a considerable extent, be subsidiary to government except in regard to the discharge of the functions allotted to it by law." End quote. So, what happened during this debate? An independent election commission was the result of extensive debates between members of the Constituent Assembly who were aware of the need for free and fair elections. Various provisions were inserted in the Constitution to ensure that the Election Commission did not become a tool in the hands of the ruling party and maintained its independence. R.K. Sidhwa argued that the Election Commission must constitute a permanent body because its task is not limited to the general elections. N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar pointed out the abuse of election procedure, of the election machinery, and the prevalence of corruption in elections. He said, "This clause is merely an attempt to bring all these election activities under a common centralized independent control." End quote. Kuladhar Chaliha argued against the draft Article 289. He said, "Ambedkar thought that a body outside the executive should be there to conduct the elections. But what is that body outside the executive? It is the president who will select the chief election commissioner, and he is a party man, whatever it may be, and will have the same prejudices and same bias towards his own party man as anyone else. And therefore, that argument does not hold very well." End quote. Defending the provision in the draft constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar responded. He said, "The Chief Commissioner is placed on the same footings as the judges of the Supreme Court, and I do not know that there exists any measure of greater security in any other constitution which is better than the one we have provided for in the proviso." The draft Article 289 that KM Munshi debated eventually became Article 324 of the Indian Constitution. So, what does the Election Commission look like today? The Election Commission is a 3-member body comprising a Chief Election Commissioner and 2 election commissioners. All 3 members are appointed by the President of India for a tenure of 6 years or until they reach the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. They can be removed from office only through impeachment by Parliament. Sukumar Sen was India's first Chief Election Commissioner, and the current Chief Election Commissioner is Rajiv Kumar, who took charge on 15 May 2022. Thank you for listening. For more from The Print, become a subscriber at theprint.in/subscribe. I'm Zoya in Delhi. Tune in every day for more such news and analysis.